The military is stepping up its preparations for the possibility of a no-deal Brexit. They've activated something called Operation Redfold. It happened on Monday, and this is basically a crisis management team that it's been mobilised in a nuclear bunker way well beneath the Ministry of Defence's main building, and will act as the command and control for up to 3,500 military personnel that we already know about that have been put on standby to help the government in case there is a no-deal Brexit next Friday, and in case help is needed, for example, at ports, if there's any problem with getting fuel or food or supplies, any logjam, to help with the flow into the country. Obviously, the government hopes that isn't going to happen. They hope that there is going to be a deal ultimately, and there will not be a no-deal Brexit. But it's significant that now, as the clock ticks closer to next Friday, and still no decision either way on what's going to happen, that you can see now that government departments, in particular the Ministry of Defence, getting ready. It's sensible contingency planning. It doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen, but it does mean that we really are getting close to this point, and as a result, contingency plans that have been long in the making are now having to be activated. So the fact that this team has been stood up and is now working and getting ready is a real indication of that.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Verse 2. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahushai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rukar, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And the reason why I brought up the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 1 and 2, is that we're commanded by Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, all right, to speak the words of prophecy to our people. And what is going on over there in UK, all right, is prophecy. Where you're having now, all right, the military on standby, getting ready for all hell to break loose over there in UK if this Brexit deal, all right, doesn't go through and there's a no deal. And we hear the prophets of Great Millstone have been saying this week in and week out for years and years. All right, the apostles of Great Millstone have been saying this for decades upon decades. All right, that all hell is going to break loose all throughout the world, not just here in America. All right, and the scenario that's happening over there in UK is just a taste of what's to come, because this is going to happen here in America as well. So let's get into this article, all right? Because, hey, man, this is what we are commanded to do, all right, is bring out the words of Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, bring out prophecy, all right, which means to say before and tell you that no good thing is coming, all right, to the earth, all right? Bad times is coming. Only evil. Evil is coming. In fact, let me get that scripture. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7. Verse 5. Thus saith the Lord power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. Verse 6. An end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come right. So only evil is coming, all right, because we're at the end. All right, the end is coming. And these are the indicators that we're at the end of this system, man. We're at the end of Esau's rulership, the red Hebrew Edomite, the so-called white man who's ruling today. All right, his kingdom's coming to an end. So let's get into this article. Brexit, government preparing to enter very high readiness mode for no deal. Operation Redfold will direct some 3,500 military personnel who have been put on standby for a no-deal scenario. That's right. You're having military personnel in UK on standby. All right? Because March 29th is the beginning of the pullout of UK out of the EU, the beginning stages. Now, of course, they've been pushing down some timeline. Now, I've read articles that it's April, that's official, May, but certain things are going to be effective if no deal, okay, comes to fruition by March 29th. Certain things will happen. That's why there's soldiers on standby. It goes on and says the armed forces have activated a team in a nuclear-proof bunker. Right. So there is a team in a nuclear-proof bunker, okay, watching this scenario unfold. Under the Ministry of Defense, as the government prepares next Monday to enter very high readiness mode for a no-deal Brexit, Sky News can reveal. Right, because it's the military saying, yes, push this information out. Control of overall planning for the impact of the UK leaving the European Union without a withdrawal agreement next week shifts from the Cabinet Office to the government's Emergency Committee, COBRA. There will be a near 24-hour manning of critical departments most at risk from Brexit disruption. Teams in situ in the Cabinet Office and Departments for Health, Transport, and Defense will be primed to divert resources or deploy manpower where required, a government insider told Sky News. The military's crisis management operation, dubbed Operation Redfold, was mobilized at the beginning of this week. Right, so they are already mobilized, all right, and watching and going over scenarios, meaning having contingency plans, all right, if this no-deal Brexit comes to fruition by March 29th. It will direct some 3,500 military personnel who have been put on standby to help the government if required in the event of disruption following a no-deal departure from the EU. Troops from Monday will ready to be deployed at a day's notice as the government lays the groundwork for a possible no-deal exit at the end of next week. Right, so this is the UK military, the defense ministry is planning scenarios, contingency plans. What would happen, okay, if this no-deal Brexit comes to fruition? And these are the times that we're living, man, because it's about to be scary out there. All right? And this is what we've been pushing out to our people, the words of prophecy, because it's already been written in the scripture that these events will happen. All right? Let's go to this article right here. No deal Brexit. What is the UK government doing to prepare? This came out March 23rd, 2019. Look at the little clock. The clock is ticking. You're damn right. Very scary scenario. All right? EU leaders have agreed on a plan to delay the Article 50 process, offering to postpone Brexit for at least 2 weeks beyond the original 29th March exit day. Theresa May says she still wants to leave the EU with the deal, but if she cannot win the support of MPs, then the possibility of a no-deal Brexit remains. Right, so it's Theresa May who's holding them up from passing a 2 weeks to postpone the 2 weeks Brexit no deal. The Brexit UK pulling out of EU. Excuse me. All right, so she's holding up. So as of right now, the 29th of March still remains. So with the clock still ticking, what is the government doing to prepare for a no-deal Brexit? Operation Yellowhammer. The code name for the government's no-deal Brexit contingency plan is Operation Yellowhammer, named after a bird. First launched in June 2018, it covers 12 areas including transport, healthcare, energy, food, and water. Now, why are they doing that? Because if the March 29th no Brexit deal kicks off, that means these services will be disrupted. Talk about a bad case scenario. Very scary times. It is based on worst case scenario assumption, delays at the border over a 6-month period, increased immigration checks at EU border posts, reduction in choice and availability of food, and potential price increases for utilities, food, and fuel. Now, what scripture does that remind me of? Let's go to this one. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 14. I'll start right here. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15. For the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right, because that's the scenario. If there's a lack of bread, if there's a lack of water, all right, a lack of services, people are going to go ham on each other. People are going to invade one each other. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. You see? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, meaning they're not going to listen to Theresa May, okay, or any political personnel in parliament, all right? And the courses of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. That's the reason why the military is being prepared, because they're scared of this event happening. All right. Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Wait a minute. Isn't that what they were talking about here? Delays at the border? Let's go back again. It is back to this article. No deal Brexit. What is the UK government doing to prepare? It is based on the worst case scenario assumption. Delays at the border over a 6-month period. Wow. So you can't even enter the UK. All right. Isn't the UK, according to these different compartments of government, it's just a city state. All right. A city. So, hey, this scripture, all right, this is the Bible that was written way before, all right, this scenario was going to transpire. And now look, this is what now these military personnel are being prepared for. But the scripture said this was going to happen. That a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Right. Because what is their pride? They think that this system is going to go on forever. And there's a lot of people in the UK that are not preparing for what the governments are preparing. Mainly the military is preparing a worst case scenario. All right? Your military is preparing for this. And if you're living in UK and you haven't been paying attention to what's going on, you're an idiot. All right? And this is talking mainly to our people, man. Because our people, there's a lot of you there's a lot of so-called Negroes and Latinos that do dwell in UK. All right? And there's a great millstone camp that's in there that preaches the word week in and week out. So if you're our people that live in UK, you've heard this word. All right? Let's go back. Operation Yellowhammer isn't the government's only Brexit contingency plan, but sits alongside broader preparations. This is to reflect the fact that it would not be possible for departments to plan for every eventuality, right? So there are still certain things that they don't have any control over, all right? Because what happens to the stock markets if this happens? What happens to the stock markets in the UK? According to the report by National Audit Office, and that the government would need a way of taking control and quickly coordinating different agencies to handle any short-term disruption, right? You're not paying attention to what happens to the stock market, all right? Gets clobbered because of this. Very scary scenario. Let's see if there's any more to this. So these are the sectors that are once again will affect healthcare. All right, people are not going to be able to get medicine. All right, talk about a mass casualty right there. Transport. All right, certain transportation going in and out of the city, goods, services. That may be disrupted. All right, food. Hey, when somebody is hungry, okay, people start going crazy. All right, that's why I did a video on this about 2-3 months ago. How there was a German man that's well, he's an Edomite, all right, but of course he's calling himself German today, dwelling in UK, and he's already preparing, and he's been preparing. He said he was preparing, I believe it was like 6 months ago, all right, and he was stocking up on food. All right, and of course going into city border. the border between Irish and UK, Ireland and UK. All right. So, hey, these are the scenarios that the military that is being fortified in a bunker. Right. It says right here. It has right here. Look at this. Once again, check this out. Slock it. That's Satan. Right here it says it has as a part of the contingency plans, the Ministry of Defense has made 3,500 troops, including reserves, available to be deployed if necessary. It has also set up an operations room in a bunker at its main Whitehall building to coordinate efforts in the event of a no-deal Brexit. Right, and this bunker is a nuclear bunker, so it's heavily fortified. All right, this is what the military has been doing. All right, to prepare for this worst case scenario. This is why, man, it's about to be very scary, man, in these last days. Back to 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right. A lot of people are going to be scared over there in UK. And this is coming to America. Don't get it twisted. All right. That's why you're elite. All right. Your 1% in America have been building bunkers, all right, for the past decades. Underground cities, bunkers. All right. There's been plenty of conspiracy videos, all right, that have documented this. All right. And also your mainstream media, Fox News, CNN, they documented the bunkers that your politicians, the CIA, and your wealthy 1% have been building. All right. While you stupid Americans have just been partying and bullshitting. All right. Especially, it goes to show you, man, that it's going to be a lot of death in this land, man. Anyway, let's get back to UK. 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Right, that's what, hey, if food gets disrupted in UK, no pity. But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulations. Right, and that's what's coming, man. To the UK and to the rest of the world, because we're living in the last days. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Right. And this is what we're here to do through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, to tell our people, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans of today, as well as confusion of faces scattered abroad among the heathen. Hey, we're here to give you warning. Okay? It's time to wake up out of sleep. It's time to return to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because it's about to get extremely scary on this earth. All right? And look at the stock market. All right? There's been reports about the stock markets. It looks like it's going to hit recession. All right? And it's going to be worse than it was in 2008 and the Great Depression. So it's time for you to wake up. And if you don't want to, well, get ready to be put to death in a horrible way. All right? Because this devil knows he has a short time. In fact, I'll leave it off on that scripture. Because at the end of the day, why is this all happening? The elites know they have a short time. They want their new world order. And that's just what it is. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Right. We're rejoicing when we see this. I know this sounds psychotic and sick in your mind, but we're rejoicing when we see these events transpiring, because we know that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, is nigh. All right? Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right? And when you look at these events, it proves that this devil knows he has a short time. The clock is ticking. Wake up. All right? It's about to get extremely scary out here. All right? In the world. Especially among you Israelites. All right? Because Esau has a perpetual hatred towards you. All right? And he's going to lay the hammer upon you. So, Lord willing, is edifying once again. Hey, the military is preparing for a no-deal Brexit. They have fortified themselves in a bunker to coordinate, okay, operations in the event services are disrupted. All right. And this is what you have to face because we're living in the last days. And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who ruled well and taught me this truth, taught us this truth. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life to do so for Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith. And as you can see, we're almost at the end. We're almost out of here. Let's go. Shalom and Abba Babal.